I created Self-Care Studio. I think it was my first year here, actually. I've always been a big advocate of both self-care and community care because I do feel like the systems in place to take care of us don't always do the best jobs. And we do live in a society where self-care is seen as fluffy or even selfish. But I think that self-care is radical. There's something very radical and rebellious about saying, I'm going to take care of myself, even though nobody thinks that that's important. I'm going to take care of myself anyway. I would say the most valuable thing we did in class was a resource share for self-care, non-preferred tasks, stuff like that. So, and anyone could do this anywhere. We were just a group of people who had talked a bit and trusted each other, and we just came in with our challenges. So I don't like brushing my teeth. It's a non-preferred task, but I know I have to do it. And I didn't, as the self-care teacher, I had no advice. But another student was like, have you tried soft bristle toothbrushes? They're a lot better than medium or hard. Some certain like lotions and creams that some students don't like, other students had already found the solution to like, here's how you can take care of your skin without it being a sensory nightmare. And another great idea that came up that I also used that a student gave me is saving an audiobook or a podcast, like a favorite, something that you can't wait to get back to, and say, I'll only listen to that in the shower. And that way, if showering is a non-preferred task, like at least there's something to get you there, because there are certain like sensory issues that get in the way of like personal and self-care for 2E students. And you're not alone if you don't like showering or brushing your teeth or putting your laundry away. It feels like, oh, I'm so terrible. Why can everybody do this? And I can't even take care of myself in this way. But there's so many of us that struggle, and we're smart. We came up, especially the students are really good at coming up with loopholes and ways to take care of yourself in a way that's kind of more specific to you and not just the generic, what do you mean? Everybody wakes up and brushes their teeth. That's not hard, because for some of us it is. So it's really helpful to lean on each other. Community care is really even more important than self-care, in my opinion. After learning kind of the basics of self-care, there's a few different facets: physical, mental, or social, academic, task management. So each student set a goal in one of those facets, and then the students would have to decide, like, if my goal is to have a better relationship with my obnoxious sibling, what do I have to do? Because that's like taking me down. That's, it's hurting me, even though it's the sibling's fault as well. So making a goal of like setting boundaries. Setting boundaries is a really hard one. Expressing needs or stuff like that. And we would talk about that. Or maybe the goal would just be like something like personal hygiene related. Sleep was a tough one. Sleep was one that a lot of our students had goals for, and the crowdsourcing helped a lot. We came up with some good ideas, but it's still one of the toughest things, I think, for almost anyone to get enough sleep, but especially teenagers, and especially teenagers who just always have a lot to think about. It can keep you up. So a lot of our students had sleep-related goals too. And the best advice when we were crowdsourcing and talking about it, and I know it's the hardest thing to do, is to not have your phone near you when you're trying to go to sleep. Because when you are a fast processor or gifted or just a curious intellectual person and you find yourself with 5 minutes, it's really hard. Even if you know you're supposed to be sleeping, it's really hard to spend that 5 minutes staring into the dark trying to fall asleep when you could be learning something new or playing a game or diving into your current interest. So that was a big one that even I struggle with. It's tough to separate from your phone, especially during wind down time. But that was a really helpful goal that the students pointed out.